Yo, what up, fam? What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, first of all, I like to say this right here. Now, this is the first highway story of the new year. So kudos to you that tuned in. If y'all remember last year, was doing all kinds of highway stories, telling y'all what was going on out here on the road, shit that I was seeing, shit that I was hearing, even some stuff that I wound up doing. You know what I mean? So if you tune back into it, that's something that I did tell myself I need to get back to giving y'all these good old highway stories, man. It's been a lot going on out there on the road and also out there in the world right now. So I'm hopefully, that I could go out here and entertain y'all, for a couple of minutes and whatnot, and take your mind off the bullshit and what's going on out there in the world. Y'all gotta forgive me because I got stuff going on with these phones and whatnot, and we over here moving and grooving, as my brother D Mosier say all the time. But here we go. Now y'all already know how I like to do. I like to set everything up. I like to paint this picture, with my words and everything. So I got a title. I got a title for y'all. This one is called Honey. Now y'all probably saying, what the hell? Why would you call something honey? It's something you about to talk about something sweet. In a nutshell, I'm a break it down to y'all like this. A very, very long time ago, my mother had put me on to something. And what she used to say to me all the time was, you could catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Now let me rewind and repeat that again. You can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I'm not sitting up here saying you gotta be sweet, nice to everybody that you meet. But if you want to get certain things and whatnot, you do have to be somewhat kind. So and I'm gonna break this story down to y'all. For some of y'all that don't know, I am on a somewhat of a dedicated account. I go to Publix down in McCalla, Alabama. It's on the outskirts of Birmingham. I started going here last year. Some of y'all that know, some of y'all that don't know, I am leasing a truck again. So the guy that I'm getting this truck from, he actually used to run back and forth from Greenville, Tennessee. Now I'm not gonna say the name of the shipper up there, and the reason being is because I got another highway story to tell y'all, and it's involving somebody up there. So I go up to Greenville, I get loaded up with food product. Now I've been going to this one, it's like 2-3 times a week. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to be able to recognize people faces. People are starting to be able to recognize my face, who I am, who I drive for, stuff like that. So it's this brother. I don't know the brother name, but if you seeing this, you know I'm about to say straight up honest God truth. So it's this brother. He got dreads. Well, this is the crazy thing. All the brothers down there got dreads. So it's a lumper company, and they have their crew. They unload me first, and then Publix go behind them, and they count the product to make sure everything is, no damaged goods and stuff like that and whatnot. I'm down there getting unloaded, going through the process, get a text message on my phone saying that yeah, they ready to get the lumper people, they ready to get paid. So what I typically do, I forward that over to the guy that I pull for. He handles all of that, whatnot. But you still gotta sit in your truck and you gotta wait until you get a green light. So it gets the green light, boom. I get a text message back saying, "Hey, here's your receipt for the lumper fee." So I'm like, "All right, bet." So I'm feeling good and whatnot. This was around football season because I had the Colts hat on. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't change. Now, what I'm about to tell y'all, they didn't change everything up. I don't know if it was because of this situation and whatnot, but between me and this brother. But after that, it was all right. We got into I guess you could say, an argument. But let me get to this. So I gets up in there, and at this point of time, before they changed everything up, you can walk in and you can walk straight back there where the lumper people is at, and you can get your bills and you can get your receipt also for the lumper fee, right? It's probably two or three other drive. It might have been two or one more driver that was in front of me. So I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I be tired, so I lay down. I take a nap. So when I get up and everything, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, brain just kind of all over the place. So as I walk back there, I see this brother. He's like, what door are you in? So I tell him the door number that I'm in. But here's the thing that I've been catching on to and peeping out lately. Ever since we moved out here, people be like, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" So they can understand me, and some people can't. I don't know if I just sound, god dang it, country, countrified, or whatever the case might be. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. So I told the brother my door number. He misheard what I said, and he wound up giving me the bills to somebody else's truck, paperwork, receipt, and everything. So I don't look at it because I'm just trying to get the fuck up out of there. So I boom, right on, yo. So someone was like, "No, you need to look at the bills." So I'm looking at the bills. I'm like, "Hold on, man. Like, nah. This ain't me." So I'm like, "Yo, let me take this back, do the right thing and whatnot, and go from there." Went back there. I said, "Hey, boss man, hey, this is the wrong bills." I think the brother was already having a bad day. He might have had a bad night. I don't know. But first thing that he said was, "Motherfucker, I fucking asked you what fucking door you was in." So for y'all that like personally know me, like, Indianapolis, Nat Town, East Side, West Side. I mean, like, over the years, Spirit has worked on me a lot, to the point where I had patience, a lot of patience. So when this brother started snapping off on me, I was like, "Motherfucker, who the fuck you talking to?" Instantly. You know what I mean? It wasn't no. So me and him, we like literally because only thing that was separating us was a plexiglass window. He was on one side and I was on the other side. So he like nigga, boo, woo. And I'm like, "Nigga, it ain't that goddamn deep, nigga. I'm telling you, this ain't my motherfucker. This ain't my shit. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody else's shit." Well, motherfucker, I asked you what door. I said, "Nigga, I told you what motherfucking door. You heard what the fuck you wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying?" So I mean, like we're loud. And by us being loud, now, I can admit, and I'm being honest, yeah, my emotions, they kicked in. All they kicked in. And his emotions kicked in also. And some things were said on the lines of, I felt like my life was being threatened. All right. And something that homeboy had said, he said, "Nigga, it's whatever with me. We can take it to the streets. Gunplay is on point. This and that. So immediately, I heard Spirit talk. And Spirit said, I gotta take over. So just open up your mouth." So I opened up my mouth, and the exact words that came out was, "Nigga, this is just a goddamn job. It ain't that deep." And he looked at me and he was like, and I was like, "Bro, it's a job. I might have misheard some things that you said, But at the end of the day, I said, bro, this is just a job. I said, you and myself, we don't own this motherfucker. We don't own Publix. You just work here, and I'm bringing the freight in. That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, it's all about you trying to make it home to your people. Me trying to make it home to my people. You know what I mean? His supervisor by this time, because we was going back and forth like 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it was other brothers. They was looking like damn, these motherfuckers about to you know what I mean? Listen, because at that point in time, I took my hat off. You know, I'm pulling my pants up. You know what I'm saying? I did one of them. You know, I'm like, all right. You know, so I'm watching them. Cause I'm like, yo, I gotta watch his movement, you know, and now mentally in my mind, I was like, all right, how am I gonna break this motherfucker down? You know, I mean, cause I ain't that tall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm short king. But anyway, dude probably got me about an inch or two. In my mind, I'm like, all right, you know, what do you have to do in order to, defend yourself and whatnot? And I'm pretty sure, he was probably doing the same thing also. I mean, yeah, I'm back and forth at the gym and whatnot, but I wasn't looking the way I look now. All right, because at that point in time, you know, I wasn't going to the gym. We was a little bit more healthier. You know what I mean? So like I said, after I said all of that, it was like his whole aura changed like that, and then his supervisor wound up coming over, and he was like, "Hey man, is everything all right?" So he said what he said to his supervisor. He said, "Nah, that motherfucking truck driver, he don't know what fucking door he was on." So the supervisor was like, "Hey man, is everything cool?" So I said, "I hope so," because at this point in time, I wind up getting my bills, And the crazy thing about it is my paperwork with my receipt, it was right there. It was right there the whole entire time because they had like a stack of bills and whatnot. So he just basically kind of grabbed the first one. And man, y'all just don't know, fam. That shit had like really bothered me on the lines of I was like, damn, man, it's enough. Listen, it's enough killing already going on in the world. All right, it's enough killing that's already going on in whatever city and state, neighborhood, community you come from. The shit that was running through my mind was, all right, I ain't afraid to die. All right, I don't live reckless, but when my time comes, I'm like peace, y'all. I'm out. I'm like running to it and everything. Like I see y'all later. I see y'all on the next round. You go around. Well, I ain't leave this motherfucker. I ain't coming back. That's the goal. Do what you gotta do now. You don't come back. But anyway, I was like, it was just a lot of shit that was running through my mind. I was like, man, he probably do got his pistol, in his car. I was like, but he don't know if I carry something with me in my truck. Now, y'all keep in mind what I just, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of truck drivers. They do keep their firearm with them in their truck. Yes, they can. Yes, we can carry our firearm. The catch is we have to have basically a nationwide gun permit. As long as you got that nationwide gun permit, and that permit is okay. Even if you don't, like if I'm correct, Illinois gun permit is no good on the Indiana side, but the Indiana gun permit is good on the Illinois side and the Ohio side. I don't know about the Kentucky side, but they got like a chart. I know it's good down in Georgia, Tennessee also. So certain states they accept certain other states gun permits and whatnot. So, like I said, he didn't know, I didn't know. It was just one of them, like, man, this situation is about to get ugly, like real quick. And I told myself, I said, damn, man. I said, I gotta fuck around. I gotta come back to this motherfucker. I was like, man, I gotta see homeboy. I was like, this motherfucker, he gotta see me. You know what I mean? And instantly, them words that my mother had said to me a long time ago was, you could catch more flies with honey than vinegar, popped in my mind. So I said, all right. So the next time I seen him, it was in the back of my mind, but I was like, I wasn't trying to, what's the word, project it. Like when you be thinking certain shit and you go around certain people and it's like you think it so much, basically you manifest it, you project it, your thoughts out and whatnot. I knew that, so I was like, no, we ain't gonna go that route. We gonna change it up. So I started like humming, like, a song in my head and whatnot. Ever since then, me and this brother, we actually talk now. We ain't talked about that situation and whatnot. Me and this brother, he like, hey, what's up, old school? He called me OG and whatnot. Cause a lot of them, and I don't know why, but a lot of them, they think I'm from Chicago. I was like, nah, But anyway, like I said, the brother talks to me and everything. When I see him, I like, hey, boss man, how you doing? Like, I mean, we conversate. So, listen, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. The same thing that my mama said to me a long time ago, and I'm about to pass this forward on to you. You can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. As always, fam, peace, love, and joy. Holla.